Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you get a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is the 28th. Yeah, it's a Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday today, man. This week is being a little bit slower. 1 week to the election, and hey, we got a real bloodbath going on out there. I haven't seen the charts until now. Yesterday, we were really range bound, so we were taking trades down in here, taking them long, and I had a couple of them that I really should have taken profits on, and they came back. Eventually, at the end of the day, I caught one around here, on my secondary account, of course, and it made up. It made up for my boo-boos over here, but then after I got out, like, it was funny because I was sitting there, I was like, well, I've got my theoretical break-even point all the way down at like 33.70, so come get me. And yeah, they went and got it after I got out. And now when the European market started, another leg lower over coronavirus concerns. So when we zoom out, this really starts to look bad. is I don't know how else to put it. This really starts to look bad. We're gonna need to get below 3,300 before it's really like the technicals really start to look like, oh hey, maybe we're in a bear market. Anyways, treasuries higher, and it looks like that they could continue further. I mean, 3,900 is pretty good. Remember when we were like, oh, we got a short, this is going to go to 3,900? Yeah, well, maybe they get back to 139.24. I think there could still be some bull left in these treasuries. I don't know. Hard to say, but all the debt that people are taking on, it's hard to say, but oil also taking a dip off of concerns about demand. Gold plummeting. Wow. Gold taking it on the nose. And why is gold? Well, hold on. Copper also down on demand concerns. But why is gold taking it on the news? Because the dollar is just skyrocketing out here, back above 93.50. That's pretty strong. In the euro tanking. What about sterling? Where's sterling is down? Sterling is down. JPY is down. This is scary, folks. Lobo Trader, good morning. Hope all is well. Yeah, I think we're doing okay. Yesterday we took a loss, and but it was less than what we had made the day before, and I think that there's still a lot of opportunity out there for us, and I think that we're following our plans pretty well, so let's do it. Now we did get some news. We get the goods trades balance, wholesale inventories, oil, of course. It's a Wednesday. Still got note auctions pretty much every day. They're putting out stuff. Oh, Bitcoin moved up a little bit yesterday, and they're kind of coming back. Maybe that leg was unsustainable. Well, after a long time, I am making money shorting M2K. What is that? Is that a stock? M2K. Oh, the micro e-money Russell. I gotcha. Not Mewtwo King. No, that's it's the Russell. Good job. Well, for the moment, they are extremely overextended to the downside. It was basically like they just came out and sold everything that they had. So here, as the U.S. traders get started, probably new money coming in and we can see some stuff, but I would prefer to see a little bit of a recovery first before we, just get in there on that. Now, in the treasury, on the other hand, I think I could probably buy. It would be better if it was at 30, but given the liquidity and everything else, it's going to be really hard to see what's going on. So I'm going to set this one up to be oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh well. I wanted that. We'll do that. Okay. So that's where we're at. Let's go and look at Twitter. Green New Deal is toxic in Pennsylvania and Michigan. Democrats see Green New Deal yielding gains despite GOP attacks, says The Hill. Yeah, I know. Donald Trump on the tweet a few minutes ago. Gunlock. Trump will win next week, and by 2027, there will be some sort of revolution. By 2027, where does he get this shit from? Gundy. Why you being like this? Making these wild prognostications. Polls right now say he's going to win, but they said that 4 years ago, said Gunlack, referring to the following chart. That means jack shit, dude. It just... Past performance is not indicative of future results, including polls. Just saying. Things change. Situations might be different. At this point, Gunlock went full zero hedge and predicted that by 2027, economic inequality strained by fiscal and monetary policy would come to the point of some sort of revolution, which would put the 2024 presidential election directly in the path of a massive social, economic, and political change, which, incidentally, is more or less everything that we have been saying for the past 12 years. Yes, that's funny. When I said that I think Trump is going to win in 2016, I also said that if you think 2016 is weird, just wait for 2020. Well, if you think 2020 is weird, just wait until 2024. You haven't seen anything yet. Well, because he thinks that Donald Trump will just continue the regime that we've had, right? Okay, well, they hit into 139 in my limit order not filled, so... Boeing Beat says it burns $5 billion in quarter three and will cut another 11,000 workers. Jeez. The market year says Powell thinking hard after looking at this chart. Fed BS move and VIX all moving higher today. I forget what the Fed BS index is. Ooh, Rob.
Rob Farley says mooring all. Anybody long for gap fill?
So what makes you think that the gap will fill? I think it depends on why you think the gap was created. So I've done some studies on gap fills before. And on some instruments, gap fills are incredibly common. Like in the Treasury, if you get a gap, it always fills. Like there's literally like one or two instances in the past 10 years where it didn't fill. In the E-mini, it's a little bit more common for it to not fill, or at least for it to not fill for like years. But
Rob Farley says no clue. JES usually common.
Yeah. But today we've got serious concerns in Europe over a coronavirus second wave. Excuse me, my stomach is a little upset this morning. And they are going to lock down in parts of France and Germany again, apparently. In France, they're mulling like a full-scale lockdown. Look at that. We don't need that anymore. So if we're going to lock down again, then we need to come back over here and look at this thing. Well, where were some of the worst days? Here was a pretty bad one. Gap filled. I don't know. Doesn't really show you because these are the extended sessions and everything, but and only the gap that you see is only on the ETH. Now I'm gonna have to change it for you. I'm gonna change it for you, and I'm gonna say CME index futures RTH. Okay. Oh, maybe it doesn't change it on. I need 1440 candles.
Lobo Trader says it's not rumors, our stats are becoming a nightmare again, and this is people in hospital, so no mistakes in the stats. Problem here is, we are not aggressive enough in taking actions to stop.
1440 data series, when you go back like a whole year. Okay, there you go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like even through most of the worst that they did, indeed fill gaps on most days. Well, there's one that was close.
Uzi Knesset says we should be more aggressive. Just kill 1/3 of every country's population. Should improve COVID stats.
Oh my gosh. Well, it really is like, come on, guys. Man, we're heading down there awfully quickly. Oh, you know what? We need to go back here and look at these. Okay, so here's a day, for instance. Where they didn't fill the gap. Okay? Look at this day. What if today is like that day? Not good, right? So, there's an example. I found one. Okay, should we kill 1/3 of every country's population to prevent the coronavirus? No, so here's the thing that irks me is that the whole reason that we closed down in the first place was so that we could build more hospital capacity. We could get all of the.
I'm fucking kidding, lol.
So that we could get all of the supplies and everybody fitted out and the people, so that when a large wave came, we would be prepared to handle it. So if we have to go into a second lockdown, then the first lockdown was completely useless. No joke. Like, seriously. If we have to lock down again to prevent hospital capacity from being breached, then we did it wrong. We screwed up somewhere. We didn't flatten the curve. We did this. We crushed the curve, which was stupid. Crushing the curve is stupid, I think. I've been saying this the whole freaking time. Have I not been saying this the whole freaking time? This is a wave. This is a bad wave. Oh, hospital capacity breached. Bad. Bad. Right there. Hey, look, I'm okay writing with my mouse. Okay, that's bad right there. All right. That's what we get. So then we go in and we say, let's flatten the curve. Oh, and then we spread all of those cases out over a longer period of time, and we never reach hospital capacity. But what did we do? We did this. We did We shut down. We delayed the first wave. It came up like this. We never reached hospital capacity, and we crushed the curve. And we didn't get this long tail. So now what has to happen? Yep. Buddish. Oh, so bad. Can you see that purple? Oh, so bad. We need to crush the curve. Or sorry, we need to flatten the curve, not crush it. You do this. This is pointless if you get this. All you did was delay it. The only reason people think lockdowns work is because China is painfully good at effing lying. That might be true. No way to prove that one. Well, we EU have no cure, and we're screwed by loosening the counteractions in summer. What you in the US are going through, though, is just so sad. We all need this vaccine. Yeah, but then the report out this morning that I was reading was that a vaccine might not completely work, and the early vaccines might only lessen symptoms and not stop it. I mean, it's a scary thing to say, and I don't want to have to be the one to say it, because everybody will say that it's insensitive and so on and so forth. But at some point, you have to accept that people are just going to die, and that there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Because you can't starve everybody else to save them. You know what I mean? It's like you can close down and prevent some deaths in the elderly population, but then you lock down again, you're potentially looking at people starving, you're looking at people committing suicide, you're looking at entire livelihoods and businesses being destroyed, you're looking at a long-term depression. Like, it's not freaking worth it, dude. I know that you think that oh, but there's lives, guys. It's you got to do a more sophisticated analysis than that, don't you think? I'm hearing the same. Our docs, the ones I trust, say since March it will take until 2021 for a vaccine. Look at all that hitting into 01. So one of those things that if you weren't reminded of every second of every day, you wouldn't even notice it. It'll only go away when the political landscape normalizes. I don't know if that's true, Uzi, because hospital capacity is going to breach, and you're definitely going to hear about that. When hospital capacity is reached in your area, you're definitely going to hear about that. Well, that was a pretty ugly flush lower there in the E-mini, wasn't it? New poll, why Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin. Which poll is this? ABC Washington Post poll. Don't trust them. But they're putting the president at 40%. See, so one thing that I would be looking at in polls is like, it looks like that if Donald Trump is winning, and some polls seem to suggest that he is, that it's like late breaking voters are going for the president. So some of these polls, you might only see 40%. Like, that's Donald Trump's base, and then a bunch of these other people go towards Trump. Oh, by the way, there was some people saying that, well, I guess Donald Trump said something about there will be a nice surprise waiting for you when you wake up tomorrow. But I think he might have just been talking about the Tucker Carlson interviews. But let's go check the Donald, see if they've got anything new. Hunter Biden allegedly represented the Chinese CEO in deal to help Russia's state oil company on Breitbart. Okay, tick up at 01 and bid 1,700. Good. 11K offer, though. Wow. Somebody took profits. Are you and chat considering to short the VXX at some moment? If so, which price levels? That's a good question that I can't answer, Lobo. We need Gary. Where's Gary? Gary hasn't been around. Gary, if you're listening, let Lobo Trader know what levels of the VIX you would like to sell volatility I mean, it's certainly a strategy that at some point you're going to take on. The thing that you got to be careful with on this sort of a thing is always you're talking about a risk premium strategy, which means that you are taking on excessive risk that other people don't want to take on, and that's where you're deriving edge and how you're making money. So you're selling the VIX, you're taking on a risk that most people don't want to do because everybody else is scared. But in the end, normally that tends to work out. The question is just how big is your stop and how long can you hold it for? Because if this continues to go down all week and into next week, then that's not going to feel very good, is it? So the point at which you can do it, I don't know. I think I would probably be waiting for things to be a little bit more crazy than they are today if I'm going to go all in on a strategy like that. Because right now, they're just going down on just the concerns about a second wave. Like the wave hasn't really gotten started and it hasn't really hit the US like it could, like it is in Europe, for instance. So I don't know. And there's still kind of this question about like how much herd immunity has been reached and how much will it affect the ultimate numbers, right? I kind of want to know what the numbers are now because before it was like, oh, number of cases and deaths and everything else like that. Like the US numbers are absolutely terrible. And now it's like, well, because the UK hasn't, the Europe hasn't been hit yet. Well, now it's been hit. Have they reached parity yet? I don't know. See if there's anything here, just short term here. Yep, the Democrats yesterday were all quite upset about the Supreme Court. Black Lives Matters rioters in Philadelphia threaten assault and chase out Jewish residents claiming you don't live here and calling them members of the synagogue of Satan. What? The anti-Semitism among the left is just absolutely crazy. I have to say, when I lived in New York for a short time, the Jews were the nicest to me. I got along really well with those kids, like the other people working at the bank and stuff. I thought they were really cool. um, it really makes me mad to see these videos of people in New York harassing Jews. Racial supremacy groups tend to really dislike Jews for some reason. Uzi's obviously talking about the Democrat Party. Man, that's some big offers up there at 02 and 03. Especially after just hitting in an 11K iceberg at 01.5. But look at the E-mini go. So at this point in the E-mini, like we're well beyond a point at which I could try and reverse it, and it's just still going. Absolutely amazing. Hunter Biden, the son of former Vice President Joe Biden, allegedly acted as the personal attorney for Yi Jinming, the chair of a major Chinese energy firm, in a deal to buy a 14% stake in a Russian state oil company facing U.S. sanctions. That is pretty big deal. The accusation was made by Tony Bobulinski, the former business partner of the Biden family, during a Tuesday interview with Tucker Carlson. Okay, so it's this the Tucker Carlson thing. I think they were talking about the Tucker Carlson thing. Unless the Donald Trump is gonna like tweet something any second now. Any second now, Mr. Trump. It's gonna close all that. The Washington Post poll now has Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin and winning. Oh, this guy is making fun of them. I don't know why I follow this guy because he's not. I always think, oh, maybe that's like useful. No, it's not. He comments on news, but it's his opinion. Oh, what was Donald Trump saying here? COVID is a unified chant of fake news, lamestream media. They will talk about nothing else until November 4th when the election will hopefully be over. Then the talk will be how the low death rate is, plenty of hospital rooms, and many tests of the young people. Oh, I'm not so sure about the many hospital rooms. But maybe my state is the only one having this problem. Maybe my state is just stupid. Is that the problem? Utah was just dumb to not hire more people so that there would be the hospital capacity or have people on standby or something. The main thing about money, but it makes you do things you don't want to do. Ooh. What's that from? Ah, it's from Wall Street, the movie. By the way, 10-year Treasury pretty active. There's some really big limit orders out there. Wow, look at that 1,000 lot at 33.15 in the 10 in the E-mini. Go get him! Go get him! You can do it. Okay, 22 hit it. Was real. Come on, he wants to be filled. Hit him. Move through him. See if he pukes. Them dip buyers. Slightly more voters blame Trump and the GOP for a lack of a stimulus deal, survey finds. Wait, did it go away? It disappeared. Did he decide that wasn't going to work? He pulled 33.15. Zero Hedge says, only the hero can save us now. Picture of the hero. For those of you too lazy to come over, it's a picture of Jerome Powell. A very heroic picture of Jerome Powell. Very high contrast. Oh, man, he looks so good. He looks so good. Although, why is his tie always crooked? Anyways. Powell, we need to get you in on the double Windsor thing. All right. Oh, that's right. We get Bank of Canada interest rate decision at 8 o'clock today. Okay, well, we have ticked through 33.15 now. There was a little bit of an iceberg there. Just a little. They'll be done within 2 weeks, they're figuring. Donald Trump talking about rising cases in the Midwest. Okay, E-mini bouncing a little bit there. I mean, it looks like a buy. I don't know if I want to play over there right now. So they're bouncing it off the 10-minute moving average. It's kind of interesting. Oh, was that the 1,000 lot? Did he pull when they were about to hit him? How far away was it when it pulled? It was 5 away when it pulled. I don't know about that. Oh, Cartman says something different from Gunlock. Thinks that Joe Biden's going to win. Yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like that both of them are just going into their pre-political biases, you know? Do you also watch news? I do. I watch lots of news. And no. The head of Philadelphia's police department was the head of Portland's police department until this year. Wait, really? Is that for real? How is that? How is that? Wow. Okay. Okay. And then the protest move. That's curious. Okay, 4K stacked at 0.5 now and eating into 0.2. I think today we need to do like a TikTok infomercial. Your portfolio down this week? Try selling. Yes, that's right. All it means is that if Philadelphia descends into chaos, there will be less pushback from police, probably. Maybe he's learned his lesson, guys. Maybe. I don't know. Germany's economy minister Altmaier. In 80% of coronavirus infections, it's not clear where it came from. That's because it's airborne, guys. A stock tumble market is control of puts. Let's read that. Ugly overnight session for U.S. equity markets echoed Europe's bloodbath theory, but has shifted the underlying technicals in the market to favor the downside. The DAX is now down 12% from its October highs. As Art Cashton wrote earlier, the heaviest part of the sell-off coincided with the announcement that Macron of France would make a national address at 8 p.m. Paris time. Speculation runs to the multi-week lockdown and possibly even closing the borders, and that is dragging on U.S. stocks. As spot gamma details, futures have broken down to 33.40, which now places the market in control of puts. As we have discussed at length, the big concern at this price level is for volatility to rapidly expand. This is because there are large December put positions, and as the market pushes lower, it may activate heavier put hedging down into the 3,100 range. This also likely makes the market move sensitive to changes in implied volatility. As volatility rises, the value of puts increases, and additional dealer short hedges may be required. Gamma is tilted towards puts may indicate puts are expensive. Negative gamma is moderate, favoring further swings in the market. Of course, puts being closed and/or IV coming down could push dealers to buy back short hedges. The issue here is that most of the puts are related to the election and/or end of year hedges, and as such, the bulk of them will likely be held through any pre-election selling. So he's saying, don't look for any recovery before the election. 3,300 is the obvious downside level, and the delta neutral price is 32.76, with 3,400 the only resistance area we see above. Well, we're about 15 points away from that. Good. Ouch. Well, if that guy that wanted to buy, he'd done it. Or it was a spoof. Kind of feel not so focused. I can't recall if I took my morning medication or not. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do I seem different today? I'm just thinking about that. Is your portfolio down this week? Try selling. Yes, selling allows you to make money when stocks go down instead of up. But then I'm like, no, that's not that clever. They're hitting into 01. That's no fun. That's 6Ks up there. Them offers are definitely getting thick. Oh, there's Gary. Look, there we go. We were talking about you, Gary.
Gary Rich says, "Good morning, TikTards. Needed a laugh, decide to tune in."
Here, I'll read the question. Here's the question for you, Gary.
Lobo Trader says, "Are you, Seth and chat, considering to short the VXX at some moment? If so, which price levels?"
And there's Ace. How are you doing? I mean, at some point, I think that you would want to short the VIX, right? But I'm not so sure that right now is the right time. Russian stocks have been hammered for a 4% loss. For the first time ever, Salt Lake County election officials are asking voters to stay away from the polls. Of course they are, because that would be more Republicans. I'm telling you, on that day, we'll stream that day. But I will be going as soon as the polls open. What? Why did it not click it? Gosh.
Ace Trades says, "I am doing great. Gary and I are living together in a trailer down by the river." Gary Rich says, "Short the VXX is like wanting to get raped or face torn off."
Okay, there you go. At some point, short volatility will make sense, though, right? Just probably not today. At what point would you be looking to sell volatility?
Gary Rich says, "At Ace Shish, don't tell about our spooning at night."
Oh my gosh, guys. You've been snuggling without me? What the heck? I'm trying not to smile by this now.
Ace Trades says, "At Gary Rich, keeping warm is keeping warm."
Oh man. I mean, I know it's cold outside, but it's not that cold. My gosh. I didn't, I didn't even have any kind of funny follow up or what do you say to
Ace Trades
that?
says worth a hit on reputation to watch Seth laugh like that.
That's
Again.
freaking hilarious, man. So I'm still looking at this. I don't know if they're gonna be able to hit into O2 or not. They might need to take a little bit of a breather.
Gary Rich says it's Seth right now into the other white meat. It's called Ace.
Okay.
Ace Trades says lol.
Jeez. Man, you guys. I mean, I know that Ace is joking. I don't know about Gary. What the heck is this? Forex Live retweeted 10-year breaking out, but it's really not.
Mohammed Ka says. Ace Trades says looking for a short at 3,318.
Really? Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I don't know. So the issue I have at this point is that they are so dramatically oversold. I mean, that doesn't mean that they can't sell more, but I really can't predict just with positioning where they're going to go.
Live Action says did you guys catch Bobulinski interview last night?
So I didn't watch the interview itself, but I read all of the synopsises. It was about what I expected, but I don't know. With him getting on TV and giving an interview like that, that's super hard for the media to ignore.
Mohammed Ka says Bitcoin 1 million.
Bitcoin 1 million. Bitcoin was taking a bit of a comeback today, though. Yeah, they were almost at 1,400, and now they're closer to 1,300 again. But Bitcoin tends to pump around this time of year, right? I would be really careful with it because it tends to go up here, but then it will peak before Christmas, and then you get into a seasonal downtime again. And from what I see, it's a lot of long speculators.
Live Action says so many videos missing from last night.
Yeah? No, wait, what do you mean Live Action? Does look like the E-mini wants to turn around. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. I will go in on the 3318 if they touch it. Because I think that the index will have a really hard time finding real support until they get to 3,300.
Mohammed Ka says I seen your earn to trader video. Do you think it's good try?
Well, you can try. I mean, it's especially if you've never done it before. It's can be worth trying to see what you're like under strict rules. But in the long run, I really like to see people fund their own accounts. So, you could try it once, but I wouldn't be trying it, 4, 5, 6 times to try and pass it.
Live Action says the interview was extremely damning with recordings and documents. You have to be an idiot to vote for Harris after this.
German government plans a compensation package worth up to $10 billion for companies affected by the new lockdown measures, says RTRS. Reuters. That's pretty crazy. So, where does that put our treasuries? To vote for Harris after this? Well, I don't know, man. I do think you're going to get that late breaking Donald Trump momentum. It's definitely happening.
Live action says best part in the end missing in this video.
Okay, let me look. This is a video of the interview? Yeah, it is. Here's just the first 20 minutes of it. Father of man killed by Philadelphia police appeals for calm amid second night of protests. It's a little the violence in Philadelphia is kind of a little crazy to think about too, because so much else going on that I didn't really see that
says
much on.
protests.
Yeah, I didn't really see all that much out there about it. Like Reddit's not really talking about it. Reddit loved to talk about that stuff before. I think it's because the Democrats don't really want to push any of the protests, BLM stuff. It's been hurting them. It's kind of gotten out of their control, I guess. Well, this is taking too long, so I'm going to cancel that.
Ace Trades says order off the table.
Yeah. They might do it, and I'll regret taking it off. But the E-mini really does look like it's kind of trending up. I have an long in the treasury, so if we do get like another push down like that where it could take that, then we'll still be taking advantage of it. Solving Utah's ICU capacity problem isn't a matter of rolling in more beds. Yes, because they don't have enough workers. So hire more workers, Nimrods. Oh, I'm obviously talking out my butt. I'm sure that if there was a health professional in here, he would be like, well, it's not so simple because of X, Y, and Z. But it just makes me so mad that we shut down and then we're not prepared. Whole point was to be prepared, guys. Okay, the 5-year stepping up there. Okay, and then 30-year goes, and that 4,000 stack on it as it goes. E-mini turned down to the 3318 again. So you can kind of see how when they touch that moving average that everybody's like, oh, it's flipping. But you see that wasn't so clear. Oh yeah, I wanted to add an indicator. Oh, I need to import it first. Somebody wanted me to look at wave trend system, which I don't think will work, but let's try it. It has an EMA in it. That
Ace
already
Trades
makes
says
me more
ended back
skeptical.
in. I'm short 18.00.
Okay. I mean, I'm tempted, but I think I'm going to sit on my hands for this one. I think I want to wait until like the open. New York Fed finds implausibly smooth Chinese growth data. Implausibly smooth. Basically saying they think that the Chinese data is fake. It goes bid again at 0.5 and 1800 stack on it. So it's interesting how many orders are willing to stack on the uptick. They're not shy about it at all. Let's see here. President's testings are Adam Brett Giorior. I don't know how to say that. On NBC this morning, cases are going up. It's not just a function of testing. Yes, we're getting more cases identified, but the cases are actually going up. So we do assess that cases are actually going up. They are real. Okay. AMD buying somebody else. Zillinix. I think is that how you say? That's a weird name. Oh, and they take O2 and bid 1,000. I mean, look at how thick it is up above us, man.
Brian says 3,450 by Friday.
Oh, I don't know about that, dude.
Live Action says China did good now to get their compromised man in.
Maybe.
Robert Frank says first time watching the stream, thanks for doing this.
Hey, thank you very much. I have to say, I really do kind of feel and believe that like Joe Biden is compromised. I'm not so sure that the facts that we have so far completely back up that assertion, but yeah, and this whole thing that it's all was all just a
Why Trader says gold is dumping.
conspiracy by
Robert
China.
Frank, welcome in.
I wish I could say that yes, that is what the case is, but I don't think that we have the facts to back that up. Anyways, as for Brian saying 3450 by Friday, I mean, it's not that it's not possible, but right now the market seems to be reacting much more to coronavirus news. So, excuse me. And the way that the options are skewed and everything right now, I'm much more interested in seeing if they make it to 3,300, which is only 13 points
Live
away.
Action
or something.
says watch the whole video. The ending is hooch.
And yeah, the gold dumping is pretty interesting. So I think when I look at gold, I think it is very instructive and shows you exactly what I keep trying to say about gold, okay? There is nothing fundamental about gold that makes it a safe haven. It's purely a speculative play. So when the dollar gets strong, so people say that gold is a safe haven play, but then you get these situations where the dollar becomes strong and it pushes it down, and just because of the correlation with the dollar, And when the correlation with the dollar goes down, it squeezes them all out, and so you get these huge down moves in gold. So from a longer term perspective, I think you're probably still okay. But having been, being below 2000 for this long, and every time that something bad is happening, gold is moving down, would not be particularly confidence inspiring for me if I was in gold. But
Ace Trades says it's weird that people think it's a safe haven. In a world event, is there anything more useless than shiny metal?
right, it really is. Did it go down? Okay, there you go. Good job. If I wasn't in the treasury, I might have been a little bit more into going for that one. But that one didn't really straight go for it. So I think that one was maybe a little bit more luck. Unless we had gotten in over here on this last sweep of it, right? Because it did tick a few against you, yeah? Probably ticked 2 against you. I'm wondering, heavily invested in brass? I don't know. I got to tell you, treasuries and the dollar tend to be the best safe havens. Or just going short the E-mini. This is the whole thing that I think is so funny, is that you got all these guys that have just gotten into trading, and they're getting slaughtered today, right? There's likely to be a lot of selling on the open just from equity investors dumping stocks. Man, I don't know what's the deal with my stomach lately, but I'm burping and stuff. Ugh. Cover the trade, going to hold on. So are you saying you covered one and you're going to let it run? My investment advisors that advised me to go all in on hummus. That sounds like spam to me, Chris. A course in Coursera? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I do think that they're going to sell on the open, so you might be able to get some out of it for sure. This is again where with what I can see, and I really can't comment on whether it's going to keep going. Especially since, when I look over on mine, sorry, when I look over on the treasuries, they're going to have a hard time continuing through as well. Except for that, I was seeing all of these limit orders set up above me. It says to me that there's a lot of people along and that they're just going to hold on until they get what they want. How does this make you feel? Asks Stock Twits. And it is all red. Microsoft down 2.86%, but their earnings were good. Ugh, Google down. That's so bad. The techs are taking it on the nose, aren't they? Walmart, not so bad. The bank's getting hit pretty hard, too. Coursera is an online course provider. I haven't never tried them before. AT&T disconnected you. Oh, jeez. Is your portfolio down this week? Try selling. Yes, that's right. Selling allows you to save your money to invest it in better opportunities later. See, that's lame. I ain't got it. I just don't have it this morning, guys. I'm just not funny today. And that's right. By selling unprofitable positions, you can save your capital to redeploy it later. And then you can have it, and then I can do the little testimonial. Some of my investment theses just really weren't coming to fruition. So I sold those positions and put that money into more profitable stocks. Pull your finger live action. Okay, here's me pulling your finger. That's the. Yeah, Zero Hedge says about those record treasury shorts. Although it's not really acting like a real, like a stop run per se. In fact, they backed off 2 ticks on that one. What's that? You don't want to sell your stocks? Then try hedging with futures. Yes, with the S&P 500 mini futures allows you to go short the index funds to offset your losses in your stock holdings. Or you can buy treasuries. Treasuries tend to be inversely correlated with the S&P 500. You're out. Yeah, I really wish Ace. So I've been doing a little bit of back. I don't know if I showed you, but I've been doing a little bit of back testing on your strategy, and I was able to get it to test quite a bit better than just the base setup that I had. By waiting for a wider divergence first. So it was like you were saying, like they need to be so far apart and coming together and all of that. So I went and I did a back test on how far apart exactly works the best. So we did that, and but I really want to test it together with my inventory cost basis thing, because I think that if we're down here on the lows, that I don't really want to take a ton of trades. We're just too far away. I'd be more interested in seeing a change like this right here. You see how the level 2 has changed? The level 2 has changed here. It hasn't completely changed for retail, but it's getting there. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a sell on the open, and then they'll probably have to reverse for a bit. Maybe they'll have a reversal day. I don't know, but there's just a lot of positions on. Okay, well, the Treasury coming back pretty aggressively so far. Seeing a few too many people on the Twitter talking about the long treasuries, like Zero Hedges tweeting about it and stuff. Yeah, that 10-year came back way, like, you see it was only like 1,000 on the way back. I'm not really seeing the dollar index coming back, so I don't think that it is equity flow or I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's anything close. It just looks like they were overextended and they got to come back to balance again. These plucky attempts to rally are so cute. It's like petting a bunny bye-bye rallies. I don't know. This one is looking pretty good. They get above 22 and they're good. They've taken out a pivot there. And I'm sure that there's going to have to be some selling on the open because they're going to have to dump those unprofitable positions, right? There's going to be people that were like long in Microsoft and other plays, and they're like, well, I don't want it anymore. It was a short term trade, anyways, and it just didn't work out. So they're going to dump those. So very common after an overnight move like that. But it's also really common to see a bounce very quickly. So which of the combine companies do you think is the best? I don't know. Top Step Trader was the first, probably the most trusted. Okay, so it is net selling on the open, but not really moving yet. Little bit of sweeping around in there. Sweep long. Trying to get back above that open. Okay. Not bad. Okay, so the open not even half as bearish as I thought it would be. I'm going to dump this. Today's wrap: when Deutsche Bank trades green, the world suffers. Okay, yeah, they did take 139. I think I did the right thing there. I mean, obviously the right thing was to have gotten out up here, but Patrick Boyle, I've heard that name before. So you have a YouTube channel, right? Yeah, I follow his channel. I like that guy a lot. He wrote a code that has a win rate of 65. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I can write algorithms that have a 65% win rate. That doesn't necessarily mean that they work. Okay, so the delta is net buying at the moment. Okay. The thing about Patrick Boyle that I find impressive is that he knows so much history and stuff. If you approve him, you must be really good. I really enjoy his YouTube channel. Jigsaw's time in sales isn't the greatest, is it? No, I think it's. I don't know if you can get any better. I suppose that there's a couple of little things that you could do that would maybe make it better, but I mean, it's a time and sells. What you gonna do? There's only so much it can do. Okay, so there's a big order showing up there, bid at 33.20. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting a lot of volume here now in the 33.20 area. There was a big order at 33.20. They went through him. Now there's another big order at 33.20. Treasury's eating into 31.5. Pushing him lower. 18. All right, I guess we got to. Oh. Well, I think that was kind of more the spot I was looking for. Hmm. Well, the treasuries did clear 31.5. They cleared 31. Oh, yes, that's right. At 11 a.m., there's supposed to be a Department of Justice uh, press conference about some arrests related to China. Hmm. Okay, so buyers making some progress there. Not quite new high there. Okay, that's a little better. Now there's still this pivot. I want to see them clear at 24 3/4. Oh, look at that sweep. Boy. Okay. I'm definitely not all there. I must have skipped my medication today because I'm like I don't think I'm 100% focused in an area where I would normally be like really engaged. Okay. And they're coming back up there pretty easily, but they didn't hit the high. Yeah, it's a little sticky right here. Okay. Well, I didn't play that correctly. So fast. Okay. So I'm a little worried about is another sweep coming in here. 1,000 there at 33.23. Good deal. Okay. Let's just let it run, and we're going to try and get 33.40. Okay. Oh dear. My squawk just
Vlad
there.
Stolyarov says 113.56.
Hmm. Now the Treasury's on the RTH lows. Okay, so a little bit of profit taking up in there at just below 33.28. Still getting a pretty good pace of tape. See if they try and like sweep it up. I'm just gonna put a V here. See, there was a volume there. In many state national polls, Biden gets a slightly higher share of Republicans than Trump does of Democrats. In Nevada polls, for instance, Trump gets 6% of Democrats, but Biden gets 9% of Republicans. That amounts to about a 2-point swing to Biden versus 2016. This is a very important point that Nate Silver is making. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Republicans outnumber Democrats in early voting, yada, 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 yada. But the issue with that is that they might not all be voting for Trump. Wow. Well, that's something else. That was really wild, wasn't it? I was looking at my positions and I thought that a come back here was kind of possible. That's why I was a little bit like, oh, I wish I had. But there was so much wrangling in there, I was able to pull one out. Case France is preparing to announce a stay-at-home order this week in response to COVID-19 spread, says Reuters sources. Well, if that's why they're moving, right decision. Hey, it's not RTH low, or sorry, it's not ETH low, just to point out. Think we could see 3,300 now. Okay. Wow, the treasury is moving so freely. Oh wait, I wanted it here, didn't I? Yeah, okay. No. Well, I can't add to that. Do that. As of yet, reluctant to go. The mini is. Okay, there's new RTH. Low. Dang, I missed it. I should have done that earlier. It's okay though. More lows. Now we're low lows. Now we're ETH lows as well. Well, let's see here. Yep. Plenty of volume to be able to get down to 3,300. Tesla's under Friday's low. Ooh, yay. Still not getting that 01 there in the 10-year. Some volume at 10. Wait for 2 green 5-minute candles. Well, there you go. That's the problem with that strategy I was backtesting the other day for that guy is I needed to use 5-minute candles instead of 1-minute candles. I think I did curve fitting on the top the bar period too. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Black Tuesday. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I'm like, that's not a Tuesday tomorrow. It's the anniversary. It wouldn't be on a Tuesday. Holy mackerels. What a sweep. I've seen this before. I remember seeing those sorts of things before the midterm elections. And they were selling. It's like somebody wants the market to go down. But the Treasury's still not quite cooperating. Okay, well, let's see if they can get past the sweep or not. That was a deep sweep. That was like a 3-point sweep. Hmm. See, I'm right here. If anybody would like to buy a treasury, no reason for me to, I just said we want to take a little profits at '01. I think that buy at '01 would be just fine, Mr. Market Maker, sir. Oh yes, you can get Bank of Canada rate decision in a minute. Oh my. So are we gonna get? Well, I'm not getting like 1 minute polling. Action slowed down a little bit. Okay. Okay, no change from the People's Bank of Canada. Why did I say People's Bank of Canada? It's just the Bank of Canada. The BOC. It's not the PBOC. That's the People's Bank of China. Oh no. Pretty volatile here. So let them calm down after that. People's Bank of Canada. I'm just hearing the statement here. Doesn't sound like anything significant. There you go. Well, 3305 has a lot of interest, or it looks like where they agree at the moment. Not touching longs. Well, a lot of people in chat went long. Jerome needs to come out with new QE. The USA needs another $1 trillion stimulus package along with European countries before anything will turn around or just election uncertainty. I agree with Pascal. There is literally no reason to be long anything for anything more than a scalp until after the election. Okay, so we're getting down into the area where I'm going to have to think about taking my profits. Now, I've got a lot of things showing that we could continue through. So I'm going to let them touch the 3,300 and see what happens. Because I think there's a really good chance that we're just going to blast through that. And then we can think about it. Awfully fast, the way it's moving. Oh, you know what? I can take one off. Looks like I missed my chance already. Still not filled at the 01 in the 10-year. Huh? Yeah, let me know how much you made from shorting. I ain't buying anything this way. Some technical traders buying the moving average there, but a little skeptical. Although the Treasuries is not getting the bid. Not sure what to do about you guys over here. You want to sell it, huh? Well, they may be selling because they're thinking, nah, Germany is going to put all of this, there's going to be all this stimulus and stuff. I don't know. Could that be? They buying only because panic's slowing and they can martingale lower, I think. I don't know. I have to say I don't think they're done. I do wish that I had caught it down in here to take one off, but I look at how quickly they come back. I mean, come on. Now, if the treasuries don't start coming back up at, and get above 139 and everything and fill us, then I'm starting to think that the world has a real problem here. If interest rates refuse to go down for them, right? Mm-hmm. What about the dollar? Well, I can see the dollar is actually coming down a bit. Well, they're at 0.4 when earlier today we were at 93.5. So, if we were to see further strengthening of the dollar, then maybe we would see all these things. Okay, that bet at 31.5 was a lot more encouraging. Mm-hmm. 30 years seems to think maybe it's going to go. It's a clear technical bear flag, so shorts are piling on. So what did you see? I do see that the net selling is a little bit more in the E-mini. It's only by a little bit, but watch oil. Oh yeah, it's a good point, Vlad. Oil is just down, 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 down. Not much of a bounce at all over there. But I'm concerned about this. This tenure is freaking me out just a little. So like, we got the good move earlier. Should have taken profits on that. That's okay. Came back down to a balanced area. That's okay. Now there's some excursion by the sellers on the other side. And even though the E-mini just took a really ugly move down there, stopping just a little bit short of 3,300, by the way, the treasuries just can't seem to hold a bid. So are they selling the treasuries because they think that there's going to be more stimulus, even if it's not in the U.S., that like Germany and everybody else, that they're all going to have to issue more treasuries? And if that starts increasing the interest rate, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really know if the proposals and everything else that we're talking about really affects that and everything. I'm just trying to find an explanation for the movement in the treasury. So that's one theory. If that theory is correct, then that's a really big problem for the world and the economy, because you're going to have like a downturn where interest rates are rising. That's bad, bad, bad. What can the central and then the central banks will have to intervene, and what will they be able to do? And again, they're able to come back down towards the lows in the E-mini so quickly. It's like fight, 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 fight all the way up, and then and we're right back at the bottom. Look at this. Oh, we got the big tech CEOs today. That's not a positive thing either, is it? Forgot all about that. Are you short, Ace? You ended up taking a short again somewhere? Drop all day long if you want. I don't know if they can do it all day long, but Gary says, rates raising where the 10-year doesn't get interesting till one. Yeah, no, you're right. It's not really a significant move. I'm stressing out about 2 ticks, but it seems that at the moment, even though the E-mini is crashing down, that the E-mini can't, that the 10-year treasury can't seem to get 1 tick up at 01. And it's just a little concerning. But you're right, there's not like alarms sounding until very far away from here. Okay. So there's the 3,300. All right. So because there was pushback there, I'll take one off. Yeah. We were talking about how easily the bulls capitulated there, and I was just saying in chat that they're buying in the wrong spots. They're not pathetic. They're really trying quite hard. It's that they're stupid. They don't know the right spots to buy where they actually have some positioning on their side. Like that right there, that's probably just short covering profit stops, right? Then you should have an opportunity to sell treasuries and equities. If equities crash, rates will be muted. If equities rally, rates will probably come off hard. No, I don't know. I don't think so. So the issue is that let's come over here and I'll explain why I think that. So when we come over here and we look at where the treasuries are now in this range, so the rates were coming down hard because they thought that there was going to be stimulus, right? And then we're not going to get stimulus, so this is now our 4th day up. Okay, but we're not even above this, and really like 139.16 is kind of like the value area for this whole pandemic where they've kind of been keeping the things because treasuries have had a massive number of shorts. So if all of those shorts are to get out, I expect that there should still be some movement up. And in the morning, we were getting some pretty strong up moves. But now, as equities are just absolutely careening, and it's still going as I speak, the treasury is not finding a bid. There was a 1 tick up. So if it turns there and it goes down again, even as equities struggle, that's a big problem. Now, if equities recover, I actually think that treasuries should just kind of go sideways because the Federal Reserve isn't going to change anything. The Federal Reserve isn't going to increase rates. You know what I mean? So the only reason that they should move is because of issuance. Okay, we're right here. Taking my profit on that one. There might be lower, but I'm close enough to the stop out from the regular session that I want out of that one. Now, during all of this, has Bitcoin moved back up? No, Bitcoin continues to fall. So are we getting a full risk-off move again? Oh, there was another little low. I would think of exiting if short, yeah. Like I was saying, the plan was I want to see an excursion below 3,300. We have done so. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be gamma support to 3,300, but there's going to be a lot of people with stops at 3,300. So that's what happened is they went through 3,300 and they all got stopped out. Now that all of them are stopped out, and it shows me that they are all stopped out, or theoretically they're probably all stopped out, then that I take my profit. They can go if they want. I'm happy because I made $220 on the S&P. Now, I would love for the Treasury to come back up here for me, but it's just not happening. Kayleigh tweeting something about riots in Philadelphia. The riots in Philadelphia are the most recent consequence of the liberal Democrats' war against the police. Law enforcement is an incredibly dangerous occupation, and thousands of officers have given their lives in the line of duty. All lethal force incidents must be fully investigated. The facts must be followed, whether they lead to ensure fair and just results. In America, we resolve conflicts through the courts and the justice system. We can never allow mob rule. The Trump administration stands proudly with law enforcement and stands ready upon request to deploy any and all federal resources to end these riots. Good, strong statement. Another thing I would say about the treasuries is that for the day, like they really are tight, actually. Like a new RTH low really would be kind of like a real momentum turn. So I don't know. The volume over here, especially in the 5 years, actually quite random. DraftKings is green today, really? There's another low. So I got VIX target at 85, by the way. Okay. So still more big volume areas here at 3290 area. Bulls, I thought the market never goes down. Is your portfolio down? Try selling. What's wrong? Oh, all of my stocks are red. Did you try selling? Oh, selling allows you to take selling allows you to limit your losses so that you can redeploy your capital in better stocks. But what if I still believe in the companies that I own? Try selling futures. As that's right. With futures, you can sell anywhere that you want. Don't have to worry about borrowing shares. Don't have to worry about liquidity. Just go short and hedge your portfolio. But what if I just really like to buy things? Try buying treasuries. Treasuries tend to be inversely correlated to equities and are a flight to safety asset. Do, 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 do. Was that good? I'm trying to write something. If you got any good lines in there, finally. Why use stop losses? We can just use the martingale. There you go. Okay, so they are now at the VIX target. No. I thought that I was getting a work alert. I've been on call, but nothing bad has happened yet. Knock on wood. I'm sure that something's going to happen at some point. Okay. I'm going to take this other one off here, too. Igor says I'm on timeout. Uh-oh. Oh, so did Igor had to take the stop loss on his longs from yesterday? I don't know how to spell vengeance, apparently. Okay, there's the oil rate is a build. Getting it all here on the Twit deck. Wait, hold on. 4,320,000 versus a 1,500,000 expected. So that's a pretty significant build. It sounds like Igor did go short at some point. That's okay. Buy programs increasing into lows HFT alert, so they're buying on downtick something? Might be. Tommy says he covered some calls. Good job, dude. Pay attention to fang names here Netflix is holding. Google is a huge app performer. Okay. So Treasury's still not like taking off. They're unable to make contact with Mark Zuckerberg. What? So did you try poking him? Who was that? Was that Carl Quintin? Yeah, that was Carl from CNBC. There's my exit. So there was a little bit of a push below where I got out, but I'm still okay with it. Rachel Maddow says the sad truth is that the White House has been so disengaged from the pandemic response for so long that a total abdication from its role wouldn't likely look all that different. Well, it's true, but a total re-engagement of its role probably wouldn't look all that different either. Like, here's the thing that I think is so funny about the White House pandemic response is that people equate what Donald Trump says at a press conference every day to be like a pandemic response. Tesla's only at 413. It's so funny how that's like you get all of these big up move days that are like 10%, and then when the S&P 500 is getting creamed, the Tesla holders just cling on. There is going to be one of these days, like let's say that this continues, okay? And Tesla gets below, where do you think it could be at? 400, 380, somewhere down there. It's got to have to be below where the majority of people got in at, right? And there's just going to be one day where it's just going to be, it's going to be so nasty. But apparently that day is not today. Man, we still got a whole hour to trade, guys. Oh, I don't know if I really want to buy this. I mean, I think at this point I would have to buy it, but Brexit deal inches closer into view as talks make progress. Deal possible by early November if differences can be bridged. Officials stress remaining obstacles are still significant. Tweets Trading Floor Audio. Oh, this is from Bloomberg. Doesn't Rachel Maddow look like a really ugly Harry Potter? I don't know what her deal is. This is an instance of, so there's something I've noticed will happen to people when you have a strong ideology is that there's a certain point at which the incentives that you've been given from being a prominent member of a particular movement or whatever it is, ideology, that it becomes difficult to really see things objectively at all. So the best example of this is the flat earthers. So there's some prominent flat earthers that they've done like all sorts of really interesting experiments themselves, and like it proves that the earth is round. and like these guys, they make a lot of money off of it, and they have like resources and stuff. And it kind of seems like if you watch this movie Ahead of the Curve, it kind of almost seems like some of them do know that it's not really flat. But the financial and social incentives are so strong that they just can't get themselves to admit that. And I think that Maddow is probably in that category. There were many things during the Trump administration that she was saying or taking the position on that were just flat dead wrong. And she just can't see it. Just completely clueless on them. And I totally understand having like, you know, ideological talk hosts on your news channel for opinion and stuff like that. Like I totally get it. But when you have somebody like that, it really kind of undermines your whole business at that point, right? Why isn't Tony Bobulinski being interviewed everywhere? Well, I mean, they interviewed him on Tucker Carlson. Why do we need any more interviews? What else would he say? So liberals will see it. I don't think that any of those news organizations are going to change anything, which is kind of funny. If I was MSNBC, I would be hoping that Donald Trump wins because we covered this before. But if Joe Biden is president, nobody's going to watch MSNBC. I wish I knew what a liberal was. Sorry, I shouldn't say liberals. I should say progressives, right? I don't know if there are any liberals in the Democrat Party anymore. Flat Earth equals flat brains, balance the Dumbville book, and supermodel runway to Idiotville. Yeah, I got to tell you that movie Ahead of the Curve, you would go watch it. You learn so much about group psychology from that show. Oh yeah, so we get the Justice Department. Uh, what do we say? Press conference at the top of the hour. Well, the treasuries do still seem to be trading along with the swings in the E-mini, but it's just they're just not getting up there. What is a progressive? Who is it against progress? Well, I think that a progressive believes that progress is more important than um, competing values. What else do you want to call them? Democrats? I mean, is there really? That's just a word at that point. No, the ideology is that they want to change things, regardless of what the past experience has been, tradition, values and beliefs of the people, um, proven effectiveness. Next 5-minute candle on the S is important. I don't see why you say that, but that's interesting that you say that. Well, I don't show a lot of positions on right now in the E-mini, to be honest. So, Treasury offers still heavy, especially the 30-year. You see the 30-year? Okay, well, they're able to take it, but 'if this goes on much longer, you're going to have a Fed speaker come out and say, the Federal Reserve still has a lot of tools left that it can use. Haven't heard that one in a few days. Hmm, 31 goes offer. Treasuries a selling. Well, if we liked it at 139, we should sure love it at 31, right? Not. The E-mini has been kind of floating here for a while, though. I think that they've probably got another sell in them. But the action is just kind of sputtering out now. You know what the frustrating thing about this is, too, is that there was so much buying up there, and then when they came back down, there was nothing. That just maybe 1,000 for it to tick down. So the treasuries as a safe haven today has really not worked out, has it? It did initially. We could have taken a profit on it, but overall, it did not work out today. Wouldn't it be funny if election night the results come in and the internet just turns off? Oh, gee, don't say things like that, Gary. Mm-hmm. Did I just call Gary Jerry? No, I think I called him Gary. Probably time for me to quit. Sure does turn on a dime there, doesn't it? Hmm. My text-to-speech thing is like way delayed now for some reason. Gary's saying some of this selling could be window dressing managers can buy back for end-of-year bonuses. You might be right.
Gary Rich says some of this selling could be window dressing. Managers can buy back for end-of-year bonuses.
I just when you're thinking about it, like we're going down, I think that it's largely because of increasing coronavirus cases. We're a week out from the election. Why would you want to be long a whole bunch of stuff? Totally makes sense to me. Hmm. 8 silver. Polls suggest Biden's gains relative to Clinton are mostly about persuasion, i.e., flipping some Obama Trump voters and Johnson third party voters that she didn't get. They don't tend to suggest a more Democrat election than in 2016 party ID, maybe a bit less, in fact. Which I suppose would be another data point in favor of the Republicans keeping the Senate, right? If not making some gains in the House. Biden wins, taxes will go up, so why not take some profits at lower capital gains, buy back next year? Maybe? I don't know if taxes will actually go up. I don't know if Biden will be able to pass his plan. If they take over the Senate, then yes. But last I checked, that looked like that was less likely. Okay. If no, 3305, return Martingale at 3270. Okay. Okay. Looking a little bit more positive in the treasuries, and the E-mini is just poised for another move. German leaders agree to shut restaurants for lockdown. Funky. That's the German newspaper. From the Spectator, the Eurozone winter of economic chaos. Markets have noticed something that not many people have yet picked up on, that the Eurozone is at the epicenter of the second wave of coronavirus 19. "30 more points would cause panic where you have edge." Why do you say that, Vlad? Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 3%. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking back about Gary Rich saying this might just be panic or might be window dressing and so forth. I don't know. 3%. I mean, I think that investors are scared about the coronavirus. I mean, come on. You all remember last March? That wasn't fun. Why not get out now? See what happens. We're at all-time highs. I mean, we're not that far off from all-time highs. So, like, what's the downside of bailing? You know, that was a pretty heavy down move there. Look at all of the resting orders on the offer. It's a pretty okay. So big order showed up there, 32.79, and a bunch of people trying to front run that. Donald Trump tweets, "Incredible evening, incredible people love Nebraska, and there were plenty of great people from Iowa there. Also, 28 billion for farmers." Why is he in Nebraska? Okay. I need to keep my head up. I'm gonna get a king net looking down all the time. That was a lot hitting into 26.5 in the 5-year now. This is looking a little better for me. Got to win the Omaha district. Oh, that's right. Hold up. On mine, I had that he loses that district. If I change my synopsis to that he wins it, then it's a tie. But I don't know if my scenario is really that realistic. Like if Donald Trump wins Pennsylvania, then I think that Wisconsin is close, if not likely, and maybe even Arizona too. So casinos extend down. We should start looking for our next target. Our next target is 32.41. They have picked up some downside breathing room. Nate Silver, surface readings of early mail voting data would mostly seem good for Democrats. Maybe Nevada is something of an exception, and you could argue about Florida, but that makes sense too. Nevada and Florida have maybe Biden's worst swing states in the polls. Really, Nevada. I have Nevada going to Biden. That's a good rally there. It's maybe a little too quick, actually. Patrick Rooney, educate me, please. Why aren't bonds much higher considering the big move lower in equities? That's what I want to know. Let's see. There's some comments. Not sure exactly. No Fed POMO today. Lower demand. Sizable auctions today, which is supply end of month. Contributing factors. Speculation doesn't bear bonds agreeing that the sell-off is COVID related and maybe short-lived. I'm going to reply. Perhaps they believe that rising coronavirus cases will lead to more debt issuance and fiscal stimulus. Germany is already talking about it, and we may get a larger stimulus than expected in the US. So the shorts, perhaps the shorts are not willing to give up yet. one guy is saying maybe that the treasuries don't seem to believe that it is coronavirus. I wonder why he thinks that. Well, another thing that could be, well, no, I don't know. Usually when the dollar rises, the treasuries are rising too. I don't know if there's like a correlation there to that. I need to go and look at what is the currency risk and how do they calculate that in and how does it affect them so that if nothing else changed and just the dollar went up, would that be positive or negative for the... That was Patrick Rooney, who is the social media guy for trading technology on Twitter. We're friends. We're friends on Facebook. I like him. Well, why don't you come and take a look at this chart over here? Ugh. Yeah. Oh, this is so ugly. This is so ugly. Ah. Well, I doubt that they could do it today, but below 3220-ish area, then it gets scary. Then it's like, oh, hey, this is a bear market. From Dow theory's perspective, that means it's a bear market, right? Some real rushes that come in on the long, I think short covering. Biggest drop for the Dow since June 11th? It wasn't that long ago, was it? Oh, so this is even bigger than the late August one, huh? So we have to come back to this chart. June 11th. Oh yeah, I remember that day. That was the first time that the options really died. That was when we were thinking, okay, this rally thing, maybe it's not. Maybe we're going to go back to the lows. But it never happened, did it? Germany's Chancellor Merkel, I have reached a deal for a 1-month partial lockdown in Germany. You have to make a deal, huh, to do that. If ES takes our 924 3231, which is 50 handles away, next is July, so those two target next. Yes. I don't know if we can get 31 today though. That would be a really insane. So I got 42. Actually, we could do it if they go to the full VIX target, and then continued further. Then they could tag it, but that's really far. So I don't know how likely that is. For now, it just looks like a push through the first fixed target, stop out, and maybe we'll recover at some point. The 5-year does appear to be buying pretty aggressively. Anything is possible. Just click the red hills and travel the yellow brick road to sell. Wow. So here's a more interesting question. If we believe that there is going to be further selling today, where would we sell at? I think that if we get back to around 32.95, that you could maybe try selling again. Well, there's another pierce down through the moving average. Man, are they going to go down again? I don't know. I mean, it looks so close, but another sell at this moment seems a little crazy. Who are you replying? I don't remember who I was replying to, Rex. Watch for this bottom may form later in the day. If the markets finish about 5% up from the bottom, it's just a rotational wash. Overall, it's still downward trending. Okay. I'm just trying to look from positioning, and I see like the average seller position at 95. Oh my gosh, they're so close to a new low. What does it take to get a tick up in the treasury, guys? New low. Maybe it's China. Maybe China's out there like, nope, we're not going to allow you guys to push the treasuries up. Don't look. It's ugly. Shield your eyes. This action's not for children. You see those moves up when they come in the E-mini? Short covering. This is why it's so difficult to make money shorting when you don't catch the early trade. When we get these 2 to 3% sell-offs at the end, it may come back only 5%. Only 5% finishing off only slightly bad. It's a telling a sign. No. So what would that be on the E-mini from yesterday? Let's say 33.90. $32.88 would be 3%. In ES. 33.90 times 0.995 is 33.73. No way we're getting back to that. Hell no. Guess it could happen. It could definitely happen. But that would be like above the overnight high, basically. Well, not the overnight high, but there's this pivot in this area. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Treasuries, though. Treasuries want to sell it. Here's the thing, though. Like, look at the last two downticks. 645 to sell it. It's not that there's a bunch of people selling it. It's that the market makers keep pulling it. Okay, I'm gonna tweet something. All right. Whole thing is kind of weird. I'm still gonna be keeping my eye out for one of these. It does this whip and rotate upward, kind of faking out the longs for a short time and then slam it back down. Well, that last low had quite a bit of churny action, so there might have been some large players kind of getting in some positions there. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of orders coming in here. I don't necessarily want to buy here because I'd be too afraid of getting swept, but I'm running off this new theory that when you see those big orders and you try and get in from them, that you're more likely to get swept out of a position. So, but you can't help but wonder. Well, we still got about 20 minutes. We haven't seen positive testing rates like this at any point during the U.S. pandemic. Overall, U.S. Positive test rate has shot up to 7.3% and testing has decreased. The market year, what is next? Europe to lock down dividends? Question mark? Maybe. Yeah, they're just burying the longs now, man. Overnight low was 27. Let's come in over here and monitor this, shall we? I mean, should I be taking the trade here that they expect more issuance, and that's why we should? This one kind of looks like it's absorbing some. Sure enough, there's a 5K underneath me. He may be turning down negative again, it appears. Just briefly. Well, 3390 times point 0025. 8-point move back up. And I'm noticing that they haven't come up past average true range stop yet. There's definitely buying in the 5-year there. Excuse me, my lips are really chapped here. Nope. Hmm. Look at that. Seeing the steepening coming in. Hard as well. Which was what we saw when the treasuries were moving down. Any suggestions for Halloween costumes? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get a costume, to be honest. Zero Hedge says after peddling Trump Russia hit pieces before the 2016 election, mainstream media totally ignores Bobulinski bombshells on Biden's. Yeah, why? It is really bizarre. Well, it's not like they're not pushing back on him here. Well, this will be the last try of this. Vlad says 81, please hold. I don't know. Treasury sure is trading a lot of volume down here. Okay. So here you can see they're hitting in the 29 half in the 10-year, and there's some sort of a synthetic iceberg there. And it's a real trickle of orders coming in. $4K, and the offer doesn't pull away at all. Media making a big deal out of some people not being able to get back to their cars after a Trump rally. I don't know. I've been to big events like that before, and things like that happen, and you just have to walk, and it's not. It sucks, but it's not an uncommon event planning issue, and not necessarily the fault of Donald Trump either, because you're gonna get a local guy to set everything up for you, and that they're gonna be the ones that screw up. This is where longs give up at 81. Well, there's a lot of buying coming in here, especially in the 5-year. Look at that, 7K. Will it uptick before we go? You mini clicky click again. It's going to be a 10K iceberg on the offer here. Okay. And it ticks up. So we finally got an uptick. It doesn't hold for long, though, does it? Okay, well, I think it's time for us to go. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. There you go. Well, it's a day, isn't it? Isn't it, guys? What happens? Who knows? But yeah, I think it's time to get going. We'll see if the treasuries bounce back up to even or what the deal here is. Kind of wonder though if the E-mini recovers, do the treasuries continue down? I don't know. 72 should be defended. Where was I seeing my next target? 41. I don't know. I don't know if there's really anything special about any price down here, guys. I gotta tell you that the more crazy it gets, the less and less the levels matter. You know what I mean? Because basically what happens is all of the technical analysis traders are just getting screwed over no matter what they do. So all these levels that maybe would hold before because of self-fulfilling mechanisms with technical analysis just stop mattering. Anyways, don't get me started. Today, title. What should the title be? I kind of want to say something about it, Gary and Ace Cuddle, but I don't. I don't think I want to do that to them. What else funny happened today? Marco Polo at Pelosi. Markets. Okay. Lockdown plans in Europe cause market plummet. There we go. Where is Pelosi phone? Yeah, nobody said anything about stimulus today. Yeah, we need a Trump tweet. Anything throws upon Larry. Where's Larry? Huh? We getting a day like this? There's no Larry. What the heck? Is he sick? What's going on? Where's Larry? Hey, look at that. Lift at 30. Happy me. Okay. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Good day on the E-minis. So just to show you here, our stats, pretty good. Treasuries continue to confound. But hey, those micros, that's good. I did take a few too many fills on these. So if we take that, 3, 4, 2. So 9. So 218 divided by 9. 218 divided by 9 is $25. So that's acceptable, but could be a little better. It's not super amazing. Okay, guys. Tomorrow, stay profitable, friends.